What's good, YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and I'm going to be doing the full card breakdown and predictions of UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi, Ankalaev versus Guskov. Let's get into it. Start with the first fight of the card: Cody Gibson versus Abdul Hussein. I don't know, dude. I don't know who this guy is. Cody Gibson, pretty good grappler. He's giving some guys issues. The Mont actually gave some issues. I think like in round one, he was doing well in the grappling or on the feet. He's just kind of like a pitter-patter striker, and then he has some decent grappling to go with it. In his last fight, he got chinned by Iori Kulang, who got recently finished by Cody Haddon. And Cody Gibson got like flatlining within the first punch. Hussein has, for what I saw, has good enough power. I think he has like a super high KO rate. I think it's 6-0, 5 KOs or something like that. Most, like all of them came in the first round. If he touches Cody Gibson's chin, I think he's going to chin him badly. So I'm going to pick Hussein round 1 KO. I think it's going to be a bad holding. And I don't know how Gibson is going to do doing this matchup. He's been out for a while. It's been a while since he's come back. I think he's been out less than a year. I think the Canada card was in November, something like that. So I think that, you know, his chin's probably fine, but he's getting older. He's like 37 or something like that. I don't think this is a good matchup for him. So we're gonna go the man with no profile. Dude, you can see whoever's hair, like whoever they're using this model off of, has a chopped hairline, bro. That is brutal. I'm going Hussein round 1 KO. Moving on. Oh, is this already the next fight? Nurulo Aliev versus Mike Davis. Aliev, good grappler, decent hands. He has decent pop. He's not the most. He's a bit of a decisionator. I think he has only decisions in the UFC. Mike Davis, well-rounded. He's well-rounded, mainly a Muay Thai striker. Good knees, good boxing combination, some good kicks, decent grappling as well. He has some good submission threat. He couldn't sub the guy who just fought this weekend. Mitch Ramirez. He couldn't sub him. He had multiple submission attempts. Couldn't get it. Eventually got the TKO in round 2. Aliev coming off the Shamrock performance. And he beat up Shamrock pretty badly. Shamrock had some moments, but it was mostly Aliev just out grappling him. And then looking like Justin Gaethje on the feet. This is a tricky fight. I rate Mike Davis highly. Not like ranked wise, but I rate his skill. He can slow down. Against Mitch Ramirez, I kind of felt like he was slowing down a bit. Against Ziam, which is his other recent performance, he fights like once a year, so it's really hard to get a handle on where he is in his career. He kind of slowed down against Ziam as well. And Aliev can keep a decently high pace. He kind of did slow down against Shamrock, but he kept it going. But I think Mike Davis will win this by decision. I don't think Aliev is as good as like a Ziam here. You know, Mike Davis also got finished by Burns, but that was like closer to prime-ish Burns in welterweight, I think it was. So take that with you as you will. Mike Davis also has a win over Mason Jones, which is like first UFC run. Mason Jones, maybe not the best, but he's good and he was able to make a scrap out of it. And most people don't normally outdog Mason Jones. Like Ludovic Klein's a high technical fighter. He was able to outskill him. Mike Davis was able to beat him. I just think Mike Davis a little bit is the more skilled fighter here. And I don't necessarily know what Aliev can do to win this. Like he has pretty sloppy striking. Like Ziam is pretty clean. He's technical on the feet. His grappling, like maybe the takedowns will be there for Aliev. But even in the Ziam fight, Davis was going for subs that like ripped Ziam's knee. I think he got him in a calf slicer, not a knee bar, but I think he got him in a calf slicer. And I think those positions will help him against Nurulo Aliev. Close fight. Aliev might win by decision, but I think it'll be a really gritty decision. I don't think this fight's going to be a finish either way. I think Aliev will be put in tough positions, and those submission attempts will end up winning Davis maybe like round 2, a close round, and Davis edges it out. I can really see this being a split decision. But yeah, I'm gonna go Davis decision. I think he's just a little bit. He has really good striking. His striking is pretty clean, and I don't think he's gonna get overwhelmed by like the sloppiness of Ankalaev. Moving on, Magomed Tukalov versus Brenson Ribeiro. Tukalov is a prospect. I think he's. I don't know if it's someone else on the card. I think he's 8-0. Ribeiro coming off a 3-fight losing streak. I think he just lost to Ankalaev, where he dropped him, but got subbed. Before that, he got KO'd by. It wasn't Azamat Mirzakhanov. I think he had another loss after that. Umersai TKO'd on ground and pound. This should be a Tukalov round 1 KO. If he's any way decent of a prospect, he should be able to KO Ribeiro. But Ribeiro's dangerous. He was able to drop Ankalaev with a head kick. Deir Nurgaje, he was able to beat and sub. He has some talent, but I just don't think his chin's going to be there. And I think Tukalov should be able to just chin him. He has pretty good KO power from what I saw. And yeah, not much to say. I'm just going to trust in Tukalov. My initial take was I was going to pick Ribeiro. I was like, I'm going to test his prospect. Ribeiro could win because he is dangerous, and especially after the Ankalaev performance. But I think he's the only person really posed a threat to Ankalaev and think in the UFC. Was it Ankalaev's debut? So yeah, so he might give Tukalov a tough fight, but I think he eventually is just going to get finished in a round. Moving on to Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Sam Patterson. Ponzi is literally a commentator, but he's a decent brawler, decent striker. Very old. I think he's like 38, 40, and like in the 38 to 41 range. Just coming off the D-Rod KO, which honestly didn't age bad for him, seeing as Kevin Holland lost to D-Rod right after. Sam Patterson, a well-rounded striker. He fights very tall, very lanky, big for the division. Arguably be MVP. Listen, I'm not saying that because I picked Sam Patterson, but there's an argument he beat MVP on the feet as well. He didn't really get a takedown. It was an awful fight, but I think Sam Patterson. This is a fight where Sam Patterson is just gonna go out there and fucking chin Ponzinibbio. I don't think he's gonna shoot takedown sub. I think he'll be able to really easily chin Ponzinibbio. He chinned Trayshawn Waters, I want to say. I don't know his first name, but I know his last name is Waters. Trayshore Waters. I think I'm Trayshawn Gore. Maybe I am, and I'm mixing up the first names. But I swear his name starts with like a T. Something like that. Well, I might look for it right now. But I think Sam Patterson has the size, and he's gonna, in my opinion, just KO Ponzinibbio in a round. Ponzinibbio's getting hurt by Carlson Harris. Again, that's a bottom feeder fighter who is somewhat tall and lanky. And I think Sam Patterson should be able to just easily get a KO here. I don't really see a path for victory for Ponzinibbio. Patterson has good subs. He has good KO power. His defense has much to be desired, but I don't really think that's going to be too much of an issue with someone much smaller than him and Ponzinibbio. He also has like a decently long reach to match his height. I feel like some of these tall guys, they don't have the reach. Patterson does have that reach. It was Trey Waters. I was signing out on Trayshawn. I knew it was Trey. I felt like it was Trey. But yeah, pick is going to be around 1 KO for Patterson. Maybe there's some value. Maybe he goes out there and just ragdolls Ponzinibbio, but I think he'll go out there and get a KO. Moving on to Dustin Jacoby versus Muhammad Saeed. Jacoby, always outside the rankings, barely top 15. Heavyweight, I don't know why he's not ranked. He should be ranked. On a good, decent win streak, has pretty good wins all over around. Good striker. He's a very good kickboxer. Has pretty good power. He's coming off, I think, a 3-fight win streak. Bruno Lopez, he KO'd in a round. Who else? Who he just beat? Julius Walker KO'd him round 2. Honestly, he should have KO'd him in round 1, but he's older. So. And he's not the biggest KO artist. And he beat somebody else in there. It might be just a 2-fight win streak. I don't think it is. but I'll check. Muhammad Saeed, I think he's 9-0. Good KO power. He is 9-0. Let me see his KOs. He has 6 KOs, 2 subs, 1 decision. Jacoby has 9 losses, man. So is Ponzinibbio. Really worried for Jacoby Smith here. No, not Jacoby. Vitor Petrino. Damn, dude, him cheating Vitor Petrino is such a good win. It's not the best because Anthony Smith was able to get him, but he knocked out Petrino bad. I think he's going to win this. I don't know why they are giving Dustin Jacoby guys just out the rankings. Guys, they're not even giving guys just outside the rankings. They're giving him bottom barrel guys for no reason. I don't know what their game plan with Dustin Jacoby is. Give him someone good. Saeed might be good. I don't know. I don't know who he is. It's a decent record for himself. Good KO power, but he's a debutant, and I think Dustin Jacoby. I'm like, you want to call him Jacoby Smith? I think Dustin Jacoby is just going to school him. It might be a decision, you know? We might see a Muhammad Saeed robbery decision. But I think Dustin Jacoby has this in the bag. I can see him worrying on Saeed as the fight goes on. I'm worried for his chin because sometimes he can get overzealous and then Dominic Reyes KO'd him. But hopefully he's learned from that moment. And it seems like he has. Because he pretty easily dismantled Julius Walker and never really get himself into any brawl. But that is Julius Walker at the end of the day. So yeah, I can see him worrying on Saeed late. Round 2-3 KO. Could also see a decision, but I'm going to go with the round 2-3 KO pick for Dustin Jacoby. Moving on to the last fight of the prelims. Walter Walker versus Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson coming off the Guilherme Pat win, where he just did ragdoll him in the wrestling. Pat had no success. Walter Walker coming off the Louis Sutherland submission win with the heel hook. Big heel hook streak he's on. That's kind of all he has. He has pretty shit striking, and he has no takedowns. All he has is, all he's shown is the heel hook, because he shot really shitty takedowns against Kennedy Nejishuku, and I don't know. It's interesting. But I feel like if Thomas Pearson looks for a takedown, he might get it. But I feel like he's gonna get himself tangled up in the submission. I don't know. Tricky because it feels like there's value in Thomas Pearson, but Thomas Pearson shit losses. Jamal Pose put hands on him, but Walter Walker has no hands. I just think Walter Walker's just gonna sub him. I don't know. It feels like this is like a random. They give layups to random fighters. Like you could have just given Walker Tybura again. It makes sense ranking wise. I don't know why they did it, but that being said, Pearson has given people tough fights. He gave tough fight to Shamil until he got knocked out. Was giving Vitor Petrino a tough fight until he got knocked the fuck out and belly flopped. I think he's just gonna get subbed here. I don't know. I can see him looking for a takedown and then just getting subbed. Louis Sutherland showed he was pretty good. But he beat Tuivasa. Like that's not even a good win. And does that even show he's good? I don't know. Because it feels like this should be a wash, but Thomas Peterson's like decent. He could, because all we've seen from Walter Walker is the heel hook, and we don't know. Thomas Peterson trains with a decent team with Asplund, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Walter Walker, round 1 sub. This should be easy licks for him. Moving on to Ismail Monfim versus Axel Sola. Both men are coming off a loss. Ismail Monfim coming off the Chris Padilla loss, where he got TKO'd in round 2 after having a brutal weight cut. Axel Sola coming off the war with Mason Jones. Southpaw striker, has really good knees. Has pretty good striking overall. Decent cardio as well. Ismail Bonfim, decent striker as well. I just think Alex Sola is going to beat him up really badly. Like, I rate Alex Sola after that. Before I had rated him before the Mason Jones fight, but I rated him after because he gave Mason Jones a hell of a fight. It felt like Mason Jones could have gone a finish at some point if he really wanted to keep going. But Axel Sola made sure he was dangerous every minute of the fight, continuously staying in the pocket, tagging, Mason Jones. He has some pretty good takedowns as well. He should just be able to brutalize Ismail Bonfim, who not a lot of people get KO'd from Chris Padilla. So I feel like this maybe won't be a round KO for Soto, but he hurt him really badly, probably beat up on Bonfim, and then eventually get the KO in round 2. Yeah. Because Axel Soto he hasn't really shown that like crazy round 1 KO power. Mason Jones just has a chin like a fucking made out of granite, and Reese McKee's like a middleweight, so that makes sense. But he hasn't had that from first round KO in the UFC. But I think it'll be around 2 KO. Should be easy. You should make it look easy. Bonfim isn't really, in my opinion, they're not on the same level in UFC lightweight. So yeah. Moving on to Abubakar Vagaev versus Sagid Isakhmaev. Vagaev is a dude who has finished anybody since 2017. Sagid is from ONE FC. He's coming off the loss to Nicholas Dalby, who split decisioned him. I'm trying to remember the fight. And you could argue it was a robbery. I picked Dalby in that fight, so I wasn't that mad. It was a pretty boring fight where Sagid let himself get clinched up against the fence a lot. But that's kind of what Dalby does. Like, he's just a clincher, and he'll bring you to the fence and wear on you. And Sagid, I think, did damage in that fight. I scored for Sagid. I was really shocked that I got my pick right. But I feel like with that experience, he should be able to win this. I don't have no idea what it is. I don't know why this isn't a feature fight, but it's pretty high up. It's on the main card above Axel Sola and Bonfim. So I'm just gonna go Sagid by decision. I think it'll be a decision. Prospect fighting him. Seems like a grappler. Probably smudge him against the fence, but you'll probably get a damaging scorecard. Moving on to Rizvan Kuniev versus Tyrell Fortune. Kuniev coming off the Jailton Almeida win decision. Tyrell Fortune coming off the decision against Tybura. I think this is going to be a really easy win for Kuniev. I don't really see a world where Fortune wins. Rizvan was able to make it very competitive with Curtis Blades. Obviously, Pocket beat up Blades in moments. But Kuniev gave him a very tough fight. And I rate that. He was outstriking Jailton Almeida. I think he defended takedowns as well. And that's the main thing. He can defend takedowns. He has pretty good power in his hands. I don't think he'll chin tap. Maybe he does. Because I think, going to a split decision with Tybura is awful. I don't rate that. I rate the wins that Kuniev has, especially for heavyweight. I think this should be easy pickings for Kuniev. Maybe a round 2 KO where round 1 Tyrell Fortune clinches it up after getting hurt and stuff. Maybe he's shooting takedowns and Kuniev is stuffing them. But I feel like Kuniev should just eventually be able to easily beat up on Tyrell Fortune. I'm going to pick decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a round 2 KO or something like that. Because it's decent boxing. In the Almeida fight, if Almeida just boxed more, maybe Almeida could have won because he was rocking Kuniev in moments. But at the same time, Kuniev was doing good in that fight. He'd be good. He sticks to the game plan. I'm going to pick him to win. I don't rate Tyrell Fortune going to a split decision. It was on short notice, to be fair, but I don't think that's pretty much of an accomplishment. Moving on to Magomed Zagnukov, or Chonko, or John Pork, as everyone is calling him on Twitter, versus Damien Rzapicki. I'll call him Urzbeki. I'll call him Damien. Everyone knows Chonko. He really looks like Sean Pork in that image. Even though I know he has sent it meme. Really good Muay Thai. Not really good, but he has good Muay Thai, good volume, good pressure, good cardio. He's a very talented striker. decent power in the hands. And as I said, really good cardio, can push a pace. I think he's the most significant strikes in Dana White Contender Series and the UFC for a 3-rounder. Maybe it was in just lightweight, but he holds a record for that in a 3-rounder. Damien, I think, is a pretty good prospect himself. Both these guys are undefeated. Damien has good grappling, good subs. But I'm gonna have to lean Chonko here. I just think that he trains with a good team with Islam and all that. I think his takedown defense will hold up, and I think he'll damage Damien on the feet. And I think he'll look really good. He might have some tricky moments. I could see this becoming a decision, but I'm gonna have to pick. I want to be the different dude, the dude who's picking Damien. Oh, everyone's picking Chanko. I'm gonna be that guy. I wanted to hate watch Chanko because he seems the fan base is kind of annoying around him and all that, but he's good, and I'm gonna pick him by decision. I'm not super confident because I really don't know who Damien is. I don't really know what he possesses, but I feel like Damien will make it tricky, get takedowns, because even Chanko was getting dropped by that Brazilian dude he was beating up on the Contender Series, and it just wasn't really. It was a lot scrappier and tougher of a fight than people really make it out seem. But I'm gonna have to lean him here in this matchup by decision. Moving on to the featured fight. That's fair. Fuck. Islam Dulatov versus Wellington Turman. Literally nothing to say about this fight. Islam Dulatov is gonna KO him around. I have nothing to say. This is literally just a layup for Dulatov. Cool. The Mogger is back. But should be easy when Wellington Turman will get one fight closer to the 10. Moving on to the co-main. Oh man, I feel like I've been rambling for so long. Steve Erceg versus Ramzan Temburov. Steve Erceg, very clean boxer, good anti-grappling, good grappling in general. Coming off the Tim Elliott bounce back 29-20 decision. Ramzan Temburov coming off the layoff for popping for PEDs, where he had beat Charles Johnson right before that. Temurov is a very powerhouse of a fighter. Very short, though. I'm going to pick Steve Erceg by decision. I think he's the cleanest striker here. And if he's made the right adjustments for this fight specifically, I don't think he's going to get KO'd by the winging, stepping, the stepping like shots that Kai Kara-France KO'd him with. Moreno was landing the big right overhand on him a lot. I'm very worried because Timurov does hit hard, and he's probably still on PDs even coming back because of where they are. But I do think Erceg is a cleaner striker. I don't think Timurov will get his grappling off here. And he does slow down. He slowed down against Johnson. Obviously, Johnson picks it up as the fight goes on. But so does Erceg. Erceg was picking up against what's his name? Against Tim Elliott after a tricky round 1. And I think this is what this will be. A tricky round 1 with rounds 2 and 3. Erceg is picking it up and just out-voluming Temurov and wearing on him. I can see Erceg engaging in the grappling himself. He was able to out-grapple Odi Osborne to a decision. People forget. He went 5 rounds with Pantoja and Moreno. That's impressive to me. The Kai Kara-France KO loss is a stain and him getting stung by Odi Osborne. Like a stain on me wanting to pick him here. But I think I just think he's the better fighter. And I think if him and his team have made the right adjustments, he shouldn't get KO'd by Temurov. And I'm going to trust in that. I've trusted in teams fixing mistakes a little bit too much, like with BSD. I should just pick Patty. I've still been thinking about that. I should just pick Patty and sub him because BSD is a fucking retard. But this is a little bit different. I feel like Steve Erceg should be able to pick him up with a jab. He has good counter elbows. He has good knees. He has good kicks. I can just see him landing the 1, 2, 3, picking at Temurov 1, 1, 1 with the reach. He's the taller, lankier dude here. Charles Johnson was able to do that, outvolleying Temurov. If Erceg can push him back and use his range and his volume, it might be easy. He can even shoot some takedowns, just clinch up with Tamarov. Even I think Charles Johnson was doing well in doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Usyk by decision here. Super worried. But moving to the main event, Magomed Ankalaev versus Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov is an explosive, powerful striker. Likes to fight with his hands down. Bit of an orc coming off the Jan Blachowicz draw. Ankalaev coming off the Alex Pereira loss, where he got KO'd, but he's a good southpaw boxer, good kicking game, good takedowns, decent grappling. And now to get into the fight, I think this is a really easy matchup for Ankalaev. I don't know if that's just me, if I'm seeing something that, like maybe I'm missing something about Guskov's game, but I feel like this is really easy for Ankalaev. I get it, the recency bias. UFC fans and MMA fans in general, we are very recency biased. Ankalaev's last performance against Pereira was awful. If he did go into that fight injured, that is fair. Still a bad performance. But it was a mix of what Alex Pereira fixed from the first fight and a mixture of maybe Ankalaev succumbing to that really good game plan of Pereira, and to Ankalaev possibly being injured. Now, to talk about the first fight they had, Pereira, as may have had some issues going to that fight, wasn't 100%. Ankalaev had a very good showcase for himself. I rewatched that fight about twice now. Ankalaev looked very good in that fight. Pereira was, I'm still under the case that I thought maybe originally got robbed. I don't really care. But it was still a very good showcase from Ankalaev. Guskov has not had a very good showcase, in my opinion. Him KOing Krylov, good. That was a good performance. Was able to get him out of there. I was worried about that pick when that fight happened. But then he fought Jan. You could say knocking down Jan Blachowicz like that, very good. Really good. Right? Nobody's done that. Nobody's done that to Blachowicz. Pereira hasn't. Ankalaev hasn't. Oberg didn't. Izzy couldn't. Prime Izzy couldn't. Sorry. What says Jan Blachowicz fine. Other guys, a whole bunch of other people Jan has fought, haven't been able to do that. Guskov was the guy. Dropped him with I think like a shifting left, right. I think it was in orthodox, landed the left, and then came in with the right. It was a weird strike. I felt like he came with the left, coming over the top, and then as he was shifting and he landed the right hand. I could be mixing it up. Maybe it was the right hand, and then when he shifted out, he landed the left. I think it might have been that. That drops Jan Blachowicz around too. But what Guskov does, Ankalaev has dealt with already. And against someone better, faster, and I think a little bit more powerful. Power in MMA is so weird. Guskov, you could, or maybe he hits harder than Pereira. Maybe he does. I don't know. He knocked down Ankalaev, knocked down Blachowicz. Pereira couldn't. There's no argument for Guskov to be hitting a harder hitter. But Guskov's grappling is still so untested as well. But back to the breakdown. Guskov likes going to the jab to the body and looking for the right hand upstairs. Ankalaev does a really good job of not letting the jab to the body get to him. He was doing that against someone who has a faster jab to the body in Alex Pereira. He was just bouncing out. Then he would counter with the left and then the lead hook. That would be there for him. Guskov, the left hand of Jan was like staying Guskov continuously throughout that fight. The jab was getting to Guskov a lot. The left hand will be money for Ankalaev. In a 5-rounder as well, I think this just helps Ankalaev. This whole thing, the short notice factor of this for Guskov, the fact it's the main event, the fact Ankalaev has been training for someone who's faster in Khalil, the fact he's had good training camps for Pereira, who can do the things that Guskov did but better. Guskov in round 1 against Jan was looking for kicks. Ankalaev has good I know his leg was going to shoot up against Pereira, but he was doing I'll rewatch it. He was doing a decent job of sliding the leg out to make sure he wasn't getting his leg chewed. I don't think someone as slow as Guskov is going to chew the leg up. And that's just another factor, the speed discrepancy. I watched Pereira versus Ankalaev 1. I was like, these two dudes are fast like heavyweights. Pereira should have never moved up to heavyweight. He was the perfect the perfect light heavyweight. And Ankalaev matched the speed. He had faster hands, but as like light heavyweights moving around with the kicks and stuff, they were looking fast. And then I watched Guskov versus Jan, and I was like, these dudes look fucking slow. Jan Blachowicz is old as shit. He's 42. He's ploddy. He always has been, but he's older now, and he's ploddier. Ankalaev has great footwork. He has great shit. He will move in with combinations. He's going to take advantage of Guskov's low hands. Guskov does a decent job of moving out. Ankalaev does a good job of continuing combinations, and if Ankalaev is able to press Guskov to the fence, which is what Jan Blachowicz was doing well, and why he won round 1, continuously finding the jab, and just not respecting Guskov's low kicks. To be fair, Jan Blachowicz has maybe the best low kick defense and stuff, and just pure low kick systems. But Ankalaev isn't going to respect. Sorry for the trouble. Had a troubleshoot with my webcam. Moved some stuff by accident. As I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying, but Ankalaev will take advantage of Guskov just allowing himself to get pressed back. He was pressing Pereira back, and again, you could say it was because Alex Pereira had a bad camp. We showed that in the rematch. Pereira was able to press forward, just did what he wanted. Does Guskov have good enough low kicks to just dismantle Ankalaev's leg? Jan Blachowicz and Pereira have way better low kicks. Like Ankalaev, their leg kicks are way better. I rate them way higher. Ankalaev is gonna find that lead hook around, like up top, amazing. He's gonna rock Guskov a lot. He's gonna sting him, and I think Ankalaev finds the finish here. I know we said this for DDP versus Usman, but I am confident Ankalaev could finish Guskov within 2 to 4 rounds. I don't want to see this go to the distance, and I don't really think it will. I think Ankalaev is going to beat up Guskov. The front kick to the body will be there for him, especially in Southpaw and Orthodox. The 2 will be money for him. The little fainting lead hook that he likes to do will be there for him. He could shoot on Guskov and probably get it. If I'm being honest. Guskov was getting taken down by Elikana not that long ago. Like a year or 2 ago. I do not rate Guskov. If Guskov has the perfect game plan, can he win? Yes, but I don't necessarily see a world where he does, other than like a right hand fluke, right overhand that just chins Ankalaev, and we're like, what the fuck happened to Ankalaev? Ankalaev didn't even get knocked down by Pereira. It was the right hand that stung him really badly, got stuffed. Ankalaev got reversed, Pereira reversed the position, got on top, and started laying ground and pound. He didn't even get knocked down in that fight. He dealt with the jab to the body from Pereira very well. He dealt with the countering of Pereira very well. He dealt with the guard of Pereira very well. He dealt with all the kicks. Pereira's super fast for a light heavyweight. Even if you think his movement is lumbering, Guskov isn't really that good at movement. He's decent, but he's ploddy, and he's not fast. Pereira's at least fast. He's fast, twitchy. He'll just look for the jab in the body. Random high kick upstairs. Ankalaev was doing that fairly well. Very close fight he had with Pereira, but I rate Pereira higher than Guskov. And the things Guskov do, I don't really think. I think it will take a year with someone who fights with his hands down, but he's all pressure. Doesn't really let himself get backed up. He was pressuring Pereira. That allowed Pereira to find the counters on Yuri. I think a style like Yuri, who is all pressure, would be bad for Ankalaev, because Ankalaev really doesn't have that much power. Guskov will allow himself to get pushed back by Jan Blachowicz. I think that's a fight we have to see. Yuri versus Jan. Maybe I think it's a little too far gone now, but I think that'd be a good fight. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. But yeah, I just think I think Ankalaev will out-low kick Guskov. I just don't see a world where Guskov wins. I can't envision it. I am 90% sure Ankalaev wins this. It's shitty matchmaking. I get it, it's on short notice. But we couldn't get anybody else? Nobody? I get this was supposed to be Jan Blachowicz, right? They wanted Jan. Ankalaev said no to the catch weight. So I get a Guskov. But yo, fuck Khalil for ruining a fucking main event. Yes, Khalil versus Ankalaev, undeserved for Khalil. I didn't really like the main event that much. I think it would have been a good fight. It would have been interesting. But overall, it's way better than this. I don't know how Guskov is ranked 9. I don't know what happened in the rankings. I don't know who fell down. I don't know what happened. But apparently somebody moved down. Guskov's moved up. I gotta look at the media rankings and do some matchmaking. But I think it's going to be a really easy night for Ankalaev. He just has all the tools. He's so fast for a light heavyweight. His boxing's pretty crispy. Keeps his hands up pretty well. He's good defense. He's good in and out movement as well. I just think Guskov is too slow, and he's going to be two steps. He's going to be 2 steps behind Ankalaev everywhere. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comments below. Do you guys agree with my picks? Do you guys agree with my take on the main events? Just look at this Let's look at this poster. Neither of these guys look like they deserve to be on a poster. Guskov specifically just looks like an orc. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. I picked Ankalaev round 4 KO. Usyk decision. Dulatov round 1 KO. Dukov decision. Kuniev decision. Saigid decision. Axel Sola round 2 KO. Walter Walker round 1 sub. Jacoby round 2 KO. Patterson round 1 KO. Tukalov round 1 KO. Davis decision. And Hussein decision. Round 1 KO, sorry. I have a tier list made. Or I don't have a tier list made, but I have a tier list planned for sometime this week. I'm going to be dropping that soon. Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. I'll let you guys know. Catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys like this new lighting. I'm going to try it out for the features. I think it shows my face a little bit more. I think it's going to be looking better for you guys. Anyway, let me know if you guys like in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, jazzlovesmma. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.